Welcome to Skyscend Pay's Financier login for desktop access. The login ID for the Financier is an email address and includes standard forgot password and support contact functionality. Now let's log in. When a Financier logs in, they are asked to choose the customer. In this case, we will log in as Elite Constructions and go directly to the dashboard. The dashboard displays two key metrics for this customer: a pie chart containing the pending, approved, and rejected early pay invoices, and an exposure report using a bar chart of funds requested versus funds paid per month. Both charts allow you to drill into the chart to see the related invoices. Now let's review how the Financier approves the pending invoice for early pay. This starts in the Early Pay Invoices menu on the left. The system has brought me to the Pending Approval Invoices tab. The screen also shows the approved invoices and the rejected invoice. Let's return to pending invoices. The Financier reviews an invoice by selecting the supplier invoice number, which opens the details of the invoice. Important fields such as early payment amount and payment method are all highlighted. You can also see other critical details, including the supplier name, the transaction rate, and the discount fee. Scrolling down on the page, the bank information for the supplier, as well as a history of any events associated with this invoice. The screen displays pending invoices, approved invoices, and rejected invoice. Let's look at the Approved Invoices tab. This screen is divided into Paid and Unpaid Invoices section. For unpaid invoices, Skyscend uses a third-party payment platform called Transcard. Our Transcard integration is electronic, and the payment is triggered from these screens. If I open the unpaid invoice and scroll down to the Update Transaction Info section, the details of the payment are updated here. They can be updated manually or through an automated process. I'm entering the information manually now. I add the bank name, the transaction number, and press Submit. The transaction moves from the Unpaid tab to the Paid tab. Now that the invoice is paid, let's review the reconciliation flow. Reconciliation happens from the Paid Invoices tab by opening the invoice to reconcile. What is the reconciliation process? When the customer or buyer pays back Skyscend Capital, Skyscend must close out the invoice that was early paid as a part of the reconciliation. When fully reconciled, we will have recorded that a supplier requested an early payment on an invoice, a financier paid the supplier the agreed upon early pay amount, and finally, the customer or buyer paid the original invoice amount to the financier. When all three things happen, the invoice is fully reconciled and the transaction is complete. To access the reconciliation information, scroll to the bottom and select Add Reconciliation Details. In this example, I will manually update the reconciliation information, but some buyers allow this process to be automated. I will update my payment information and my buyer contact. Comments can be added if needed. Now let's submit. The reconciliation details have been updated and our invoice now shows as reconciled. Let's take a look at the reports. Under the Reporting tab, there are several standard reports. One of them is the Early Pay Invoices History Report. This report displays the approved and pending invoices for the selected customer. These are click-through reports, which means that you can select the bar and drill into the details. Now let's go back to our dashboard. Thank you for watching Skyscend Pay's Financier login for desktop access.